do it.
It's just me in gray sweatpants, and they're like, heck yes. And then all of a sudden, boop, comedy.
Actually, if you want views, this one, a lot of people, I don't wear shoes during it. A lot of people are obsessed with my feet. So if you want people to see this,
let's
take
get
the
this
shoes
going.
off, put your socks on.
Let's get this going.
Put your feet up.
Do you have a feet finder? That's probably the best thing. Like, when I always you interview comics or something, they generally know how to work a microphone.
Yeah, it's talking to the top of it.
Yeah, I had my buddy's wife. She's an Olympic curler. Great guest to have. She's
An
awesome.
Olympic curler.
Olympic curler. But she did this with the microphone. She's like, "Oh, it's great. I love being here." And I was like, just trying to focus on what she's saying, but at the same time, just grab her and
It's so hard, especially you tell them once, and you're like, I don't want to be an asshole, but just fucking glue it right here the whole time, and don't let it move. If you're gonna just go with it.
Yeah, just eat the microphone. That's what. I know they tell you not to bite into it, but just eat it, like ice cream cone.
Yeah, speak up. It's weird. I think there's two kinds of people when I interview them. I don't interview anyone, but they either get really loud because they're like, oh, this is a performance now, or they just get really reserved because they're like, oh, fuck, there's a microphone here and there's cameras. The cameras is what scares people the most.
I think so, and it's also when you're in a room with someone talking, you just want to match their energy, and that's the best thing to do is just hey, if he's being loud, you be loud. If he's being quiet, you be quiet. Just match their energy.
And some people are naturally more loud than others, but
true.
We talked before, you got a Josh Siegel on here, and then you have someone who's just like a little church mouse. It's not going to work out.
I do want to ask, who was the two people that hated one another?
From...
You said you were...
yeah.
And they both hated one another.
I don't
even
fucking
know
care now because they won't watch this. It was a hate triangle between Simba, Cody Heck, and Maria Acosta.
Oh.
It was... They basically were all just like, fuck these guys. I'm like, guys, I've been here for 2 months. You're coming on the podcast, and all you're doing is telling people they suck.
I don't get in the drama. I don't get in the Milwaukee comedy scene drama as much as, I guess, the newer comics
I don't
get
care.
Into. Yeah. I have to go home and go to work. I'm not worried about what someone's 5 they did at an open mic.
Yeah, it's not going to bother me. I will forget about it by the time I get home.
I couldn't even say what I said on last time I got on stage. Who knows?
Exactly. I will forget most of my set, which is not good. But
do you record them?
No, I need to do more. I thought about it, but I don't know. Once I get on stage, the last thing I think of is just go hit record.
Yeah.
I just grab the microphone. I'm just start talking.
The good thing Rich DeMore once told me is he goes record your sets and then play it in your car with music in the background, so it seems like it's more natural with your voice. You won't think it's you then. At least you have some sort of background noise, because otherwise you're gonna get annoyed with your voice right away.
My god, I hate re-listening to these.
Editing these are a nightmare, because you're I shouldn't have said there, or I shouldn't have paused.
It's the worst. I've gotten better with it. I've done over 70 of these now. I've done a lot, and it's easier to listen to. It's just my big issue is I just did this and I'm reliving it again, and I'm like, oh.
I get halfway through editing and I'm like, maybe I should just put the rest out. Who cares? Why am I editing all the ums and the spaces? And
I'm surprised you still do that one. I do the same thing, but I'm like, why am I cutting between two people? Because I get enough listeners where I'm it makes sense to do it, and I can do it for social media. But at the end of the day, I'm I should just have one camera on the two of us, just put it on there. And
to be fair, you do good cuts where someone will be laughing, and you still have the audio from you, and when they stop laughing, that's when you cut. Yeah, which is good. I mean, it's a good cut.
I try. Sometimes I'm you know what? I will literally just go through it. I'm oh, that one wasn't good. But I'm you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. And I just keep going.
Trash this podcast. All right, who is the worst guest you had on here? And why was it Avery Rapier? I know Avery's probably the only one who's gonna watch this.
I don't know who's the worst I've had on here. The worst guest I've had on here is the one person that told me I couldn't put it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's one of my buddy's girlfriends, and she wasn't a bad guest. It's just the fact that I went through, before I really learned how to edit, I took like 3 days to get all this done instead of I could do this all in a day now.
Yeah.
A few hours. And if I really sit down. But I edited it in 3 days. I put it out. It was out for like an hour. And I'm like, all right, it's getting like actually some traction because it was one of the first couple episodes. I'm like, oh, we have like someone's looked at it. And I get a text like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hey, can you please not put the episode out? I'm a teacher. They're going to find this. I'm like, you didn't say anything bad. And so I had to delete it, and I could never put it out. I'm like, that was a waste of a week, basically.
It's just a lost episode, though.
Yeah, so I now just don't have one for the week.
If you could go to Michael's Patreon right now, hear the lost episode. If you just Venmo him $50, he'll put it out. I'm pretty sure.
I technically have a Patreon. I've never put anything
Really?
out. Yeah. Here's the thing is, I thought about doing that whole, like, exclusive content thing. That's just more work.
Oh.
Like,
and then you feel bad because people pay for it.
Exactly.
Me and Avery were talking actually this morning about just starting an OnlyFans and putting comedy on it. You know, just like
you could easily do it.
Just start an OnlyFans and just put stupid clips up there.
Honestly, you could probably trick a few people into buying it if like your profile picture was like your bare ass. And they're like, oh, God, we're going to see Judd's ass. And then they subscribe for a month. So I'm like, all right, that's $5. But all they see is comedy. Like, well, we got duped. Like, you could do it.
It's just me in gray sweatpants. And they're like, heck yes. And then all of a sudden, boop, comedy.
Actually, if you want views, this one, a lot of people, I don't wear shoes during it. A lot of people are obsessed with my feet. So if you want people to see this,
let's
take
get
the
this
shoes
going.
off, put your socks on.
Let's get this going.
Put your feet up.
Do you have a feet finder?
I don't, but I need one. Actually, this week, my girlfriend was down this past week, and I got a DM from this, I want to say the same guy. This guy DM'd me, goes, hey, can I pay you for pictures of your feet?
Fuck yes.
And I'm like, no.
What?
Well, I don't know if it was feet. No, it was my ass. It was my ass.
Okay.
It was my ass.
Okay.
And I just simply put no. And I was like, this looks familiar. And I went on the thread, because I just looked at like the pop-up message. I went on the thread. He had messaged me before.
Oh.
And I was like, hey, man, can I have pictures of
He
your...
really
like,
wants to see that little fishy.
Like, no. And he goes, what if I pay you? I'm like, how much? And he goes, like $5. I'm a broke college kid. I'm like, what the fuck? No.
All right. How much money would you sell your feet pics for?
Well, I would take pictures of my feet now and we can put it on the internet. That's fine.
For free?
No, but like...
Yeah, so what's like the lowest...
What would my rate be? What's like a hot pose for your feet? Like arched?
Ew, I think it's... Yeah, maybe. Like a curl?
Like a toe curl? Do you like...
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Like those gymnastics, like
maybe
toes,
spreading them apart.
Show them web feet.
Ooh, a good swimmer's foot.
No, like what kind of rate? Monthly rate?
Yeah.
Per picture
like
rate?
all right, so I would think per foot.
Per foot.
Yeah, I'm going per foot.
Hold on. Listen to this.
Is that the Super Mario theme song? What is it? Holy, it's still going. It's a full ringtone.
I don't know how many people have been on this.
That's your dryer?
That's
your washer
or dryer, yeah. And one of us is either always doing laundry, and it comes on every time I'm doing one of these. I'm like, just listen. That's the longest noise ever.
That's
for
insane.
A washer or dryer machine. But per foot, what were you doing?
I was going per foot. I was probably going to go $50 per foot.
50 per foot?
50 per foot.
Are you doing like a left Twix, right Twix kind of thing?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because my right's more fucked up than my left because I've had my feet in cleats my entire life.
Okay.
So they're not great. I broke my right toe jumping off a bridge one time, and it's never healed.
Are your feet hairy?
No, not really. I mean, I have black hair, so it's like...
You notice it.
You notice
but it's
it
not
more.
like overly hairy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see... I don't know. I think feet are disgusting, so I don't think my feet are good looking at all. So I would just go maybe a flat rate of like 15, 20.
But
a
I know
month?
girls that get asked every day for just feet pics, and I'm like,
Girls are better looking than guys.
send them mine and we'll split the cash. Like,
Yeah.
let's do it.
I'll do 25.75.
Yeah, let's.
I think can you imagine some like creepy guy in his basement's asking this girl for her feet, and she sends him like your hairy feet, like there's hair on each knuckle, and I'm like, I don't think those are yours, but thank you.
I know a girl. She gave, I think it was like 4 feet pics. $1,000. She got $1,000 for it.
$1,000?
$1,000.
How do you get to that point in your life that you're that desperate for pictures of feet, specific people's feet, that you're willing to spend $1,000?
Could you imagine?
Also, what do you do for a living?
I had to pay her $1,000 for her feet pics. No, I don't know. Like, I'm not into feet. I don't think they're attractive. I don't want mine touched.
It's the
I don't
most
want to touch
disgusting
yours.
part on a human body
Yeah.
is feet, hands down.
Yeah. That, I mean, even fingers are kind of like gross. If you really think about it, they touch all the stuff.
Yeah, hands are actually, in terms of a germ standpoint, more disgusting than feet.
Yeah,
But,
your phone's disgusting too.
oh, absolutely.
Like, it's like worse than a toilet seat, they say.
And the fact that you put it to your ear,
Oh,
just like openly
gross.
putting it on your face.
And it's always in the toilet. Like, you bring it in to where the germs are.
When's the last time you took a shit without your phone?
I did one time, and I'm like, oh, this is what it likes to be in the 90s. Like, this is what my dad did.
And your dad had a newspaper or a magazine. That's why, like,
No, my dad
Really?
never had anything. So I grew up, this was also, like, I grew up in a farmhouse, and it was, the toilet paper was on the right, and there was nothing to read, nothing. So you were just there with your thoughts. And once I moved out, went to college, a few years later, I come back, I'm going to the bathroom, and I lived there for 18 years, and I get done, and I reached for where the toilet paper was, usually on the right, and it wasn't there. Scared me shitless. Like, if you thought where the toilet paper was, and it was just not even the roller, not even like anything was there, just gone. They've told me that they're like, but now they have it in the back where you would have the reading stuff.
yeah,
That's where the toilet paper is.
I don't like that.
Don't like that either.
I don't like that either.
Tell Kay Reminger she's doing it wrong.
I want to bring this up because you prepared when I came on yours, and I don't prepare at all. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do some research this morning, and I was like, you don't have a lot. Like, I couldn't get on your Facebook. I don't know how to get my number off Facebook. I couldn't find it, and I was on the work computer. I'm like, you need to log in. I'm like, that's not happening. So I Googled your name. Pictures came up. Like 10 pictures in was a picture of me from the episode. I'm like, all right, we're not going to get anything from here.
Great fedora pic if you haven't seen it yet.
So I found your LinkedIn, and it said farmer. When you brought farmhouse, I'm like, you actually live a dairy farm?
Yeah, I grew up on a dairy farm. For my entire life, I would basically wake up, do chores, and go to school.
And then you're like, fuck these cows, I'm going to go do social media? That's what your next job was.
Yeah, so I worked for a college doing social media, and then I worked for a production, like basically a film thing where I would interview war veterans. It was the dumbest job ever because I would get there. They would set up all the stuff. I would basically get there, and I would interview them, and then press stop on the recorder, and then I would leave, and the stuff would stay there because it was just in a production film room. And I never edited any of it, and I don't know if it's still out there, but
it's a dream. Just do the interview and don't do anything else.
Yeah, that's all I would do, but I would basically have to do it at 7 a.m. before class with these old men and talk about their war stories.
This is like real life Breaking Amish.
It was weird, and then after that I moved to Milwaukee, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to be on a farm. I don't want to work for a production company. So I just started doing graphic design, and now I'm a creative director. That's what I do. So it's very dumb.
I was looking. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever this company is, social media, whatever. Farmhouse, 13 years. I'm like, dairy farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think that was
hardest job in the world is a dairy farm.
Really?
I think so. It's got to be up there. You work every single day of your life, twice a day. On your birthday, you're out there doing work. On like Christmas, Easter, you do it all.
Any kind of farming has got to suck. Like the people, like I got into watching Yellowstone recently, and everyone's like, "Oh, this would be so fun to be a cowboy." I'm like, "You realize they do this? There is no like weekend where like, oh, it was a hard 5 days. Let's go blow something." Like, no.
Yeah. Remember when you're hungover
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
I'm going to rest today.
yeah, no.
Yeah.
You have to still wake up and go milk the cows. The cows aren't hungover.
How many cows do you have?
We had 50 cows. We no longer have a dairy farm. It's the cows got sold, and now we have Heifers, which is a teenage farmer. It's like a teenage cow.
So what's the point of Heifers then?
So they're not once they have a calf, then they're a cow. Then they'll produce milk. But before that, they're just Heifers. They're like teenagers, and they're gonna be fed and become bigger so that they can produce more milk. And once they have their calf, then they're shipped off to my uncle's farm and or my cousin's farm technically now. But and then they are gone.
So you just have a whole family cow business now.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's weird.
And you're not part of any of it. You don't even run the social media for that?
I wish. My dad is on Facebook. Please do not add him.
His number's on there too.
His Facebook picture is a picture of another framed picture. You know? it's his picture of him holding a deer, and then he took a picture and you can see the glare off of the glass.
That's more of a dad move than just not having a profile picture.
Yeah. I always see those dads like the picture. It's like, they're like this, and they're looking at it.
Am I doing this right? They're like trying to see into the camera if their face is in there.
Yeah, and that's their profile picture. Nope, my dad's is a picture of a picture, which is like very funny.
First letter of first name dot their last name, just D. Like my dad's, I'm pretty sure it's just D. Kusky, and then nothing, and then just no profile picture or whatever. But I know like that's his Instagram. He doesn't. I think he follows no one or his kids. There's no picture on it, and he'll DM me all the time of just like videos. And he's in like 2016 right now of content because I get videos. I'm like, dude, I saw this in high school. He goes, he's like, have you seen this? I'm like,
sending you vines
a while ago. He goes, dude, where'd you? I'm like, there's like TikTok stamps on it or Vine, or I'm like, all right. I'm like, you know what? You're having fun. We can't show you TikTok because you'll lose your mind.
Oh no.
Yeah.
My parents thankfully aren't on Instagram, but Instagram's wild. I have people on Instagram that follow no one but me. Like they have one follower, like they follow me. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like family members, just
I don't know who
people.
they are. It's creepy.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's creepy.
Those are like old, probably spam or bot accounts. Or like we're gonna try and target
just
him.
just one?
We're gonna target this guy.
One person, and then they'll like DM me when I like put like a show up, and I'll be like, oh, come with this show, and they'll like DM me like, how much are tickets? Like you could just click on the link and find that, but they want to DM me and ask me. And then I'll be like, $15, and then they won't respond.
Are those the weirdest DMs you get?
Yeah, probably. I mean, coming from strangers, yes. I did a show not too long ago from, it was like in like north of Baraboo, like a Boston area, and a guy after the show DM'd me and says, because I did have a tractor joke in there because we were talking. He goes, hey, man, next time you're in town, you should bring your tractor. I thought that was weird. That a grown man was like, hey, I saw this comic. He was pretty funny, and I'm going to
invite him and his tractor over.
Yeah.
How long of a drive was it?
2 hours.
So what? Is that 12 on tractor?
Yeah, I don't know if they're.
How fast do tractors? Did you have one on your farm?
Yeah, we have plenty of tractors. We still have tractors out there, but it's
How fast do they go? What's their top
30,
speed? 30?
30, 40.
Have you ever made it to that, though?
No one does.
You're going like 5, 10 max?
There was one time, and I don't even think my parents know this. So when you're driving a tractor, you have your clutch. It's like basically driving a manual.
Yeah.
And I parked it one time with a trailer full of hay. And I parked it on an angle. And I got off to go do something, like to go pick up something else in the field.
Get one of them loose
And I
heifers.
turn around, and the tractor's just rolling with this hay thing.
Oh, shit.
And it flips perfectly back onto its wheels with the hay.
Hay's still in it?
Hay was still in the back. It flipped, and still, it was just like a gravity. I don't know how it works.
I think struggling to see how this works. But
I'll write you a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was insane. Yeah.
Wow. Dairy farmer.
Well, I'm glad you prepared, because I also prepared.
I'm trying to remember what else I prepared. I have one really lame ass question, and then.
Well, I know you played lacrosse.
Yeah. You
but
got the sticks?
Well, you also played football.
I did. Also, I have the greatest fucking thing we're gonna do today.
All right. We have. You played football in 2013 for the Franklin Sabres.
Oh shit. Yeah.
You played 9 games.
Okay.
All right. How many tackles do you think you got that year?
40.
22.
22.
22 tackles. How many interceptions did you get that year?
Was this
2013.
0?
Mm.
2?
1.
1?
Yeah. Last game of the season,
Who was it against?
you guys won 43-9.
Oh, is this Milwaukee Pulaski?
Yeah.
I had a pick 6.
Oh, pick 6?
Yeah.
Well, they should put that on there. That would have been great.
I had one more that year.
All right, walk us through it. Pick 6. What are we doing?
It was, I think, second or first play of the game. I had our whole defensive squad had like no interceptions the whole year. We were good.
Yeah, you had one loss.
Wisconsin football, you don't pass it a lot either.
No.
It's a lot of in between the tackles kind of stuff. The reason we were good is we were like West Coast offense. We passed it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, our quarterback went to go play D1 football. Phenomenal. He played in the Canadian League. Won a championship there too.
Oh.
But yeah, it's funny because I'm second or first play of the game. The guy threw it, and I'm like, I think he's throwing this to me. It was such a bad throw, I think. Or I was just in a perfect position. I didn't know and caught it. And I had the biggest guy on my team on defense, like basically escort me to the end zone. And the funniest part was, like, I find out later is all my buddies, like, after we celebrate, they're like, dude, I think your dad beat you to the end zone. So my dad's a coach, and he was my, like, position coach. And my dad obviously sees me intercept it, looks at the end zone, looks at me and goes, he can score, and jumps and just sprints. And I'm pretty sure my father beat me to the end zone at the age of like 40-something, 50-something, and went nuts. Like, he was more excited than I was. I was not one to celebrate much at all. Like, I was like, this is awesome. I dropped the ball.
Also, no one's celebrating high school football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had one other one that year. That was...
2 pick 6s?
No, one other interception. That I'm pretty sure was playoffs too, that game. That was the first round of the playoffs.
Nice.
I had won the last interception to send us to state.
You guys went to state?
Yeah, we lost though.
Good. Glad. Good for you. We lost to the runner-up, the state runner-up, and they were the champions the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd you go again?
I went to Marion High School. We
Okay.
sucked for so long until, like, my class came in. Then we're like, we actually had a good core group of guys.
Yeah.
We got real close in football. Our starting power forward and leading scorer in basketball got caught for guns and expelled from school. And then we didn't make it that far in playoffs. And then we won state in baseball. So
Yeah, our high school was pretty good at sports. Football, we've always been good. I think we won like 2 back-to-back state titles, Franklin, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't watch any baseball games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got a big school.
Yeah, when I got into high school, we went from like a D2 to a D1 school. Because I didn't understand how that worked till I got there. And like, it's based off population, or like the amount of kids at the school. I didn't know. I was like, I thought it was like location or I honestly thought it was how good the kids were. I genuinely thought like, Arrowhead has athletic kids. They're D1. They're like, no, they have 4,000 people at the school. They're going to be Division 1.
Halfway through the season, you're like, your team sucks. Yeah, you're demoted to D3.
Yeah, like it's you guys are terrible. You're done. Yeah, I genuinely thought that's how it worked, but no, you have like 1,400 kids now. You guys qualify for D1. I'm like, okay, cool. So
it was fun playing like the D1 schools with the D2 schools because we were the lowest you can get. We all showed up.
Nothing to lose.
Yeah, well, we showed up in like all our gears in like grocery bags that we brought, to the game.
Your mom dropped you all
off.
off.
The other team's on a full bus with like matching uniforms with their bags with their numbers on it, and we're like,
all the jerseys are the same. You got like one kid that's got like the jersey from 3 years ago.
Yeah, just look at his little barrow. Like he can just come in and out. Like he's on the volleyball team.
You got the pads that still snap on.
Oh, we didn't have that. We had some of the kids had the ones that their belt went
You had
through
a
the hip
belt in?
pads.
Yeah, it was the belt in or the snap-ons. I had those growing up up until high school, until we realized like you can just get like a girdle and just have them in there, and it looked way cooler. And you're like, yeah, I'm doing this.
I was a quarterback, so I took the because I couldn't throw with the big shoulder pads on. So I would
never understood how people could do that.
So I went to like the junior high football equipment room, and just stole shoulder pads from them. So my shoulder pads were technically like for little kids.
I always ask, I'm like, give me the smallest ones you got.
Yeah,
give me the small, and unless you were, because I wasn't starting on varsity till I was a senior, so like they're not gonna give you shit. They're gonna give all the starters, the seniors, what they want first. You know you're bad when you're a senior, and like we're gonna let the other kids get what they want first because you're not gonna play.
You're a cornerback with like one of those helmets with the middle bar.
Senior, like, what do you play? Like, second string defensive back JV. I'm like, aren't you graduating? Like, yeah, don't worry about it. We had a kid. My dad is ruthless. Like he was the coach everyone feared growing up. Like even in high school, everyone's big. I'm not we're not a tall family, not a big family. And everyone's like grown. They're like, we're still scared of your dad from like youth football and stuff like that. Because my dad yells, and my dad was the kind of coach that, let's say you did something really well, you threw like a long touchdown pass, and you're so used to my dad yelling, he'd come up to you and be like, Judd! And you would just cower. And you're like, what did I do? He goes, nice throw. And then he would just walk away. But we had a kid in high school. It was like first day with pads on, my junior, senior year. And we're going to our defensive back group. And we're looking at this guy. And we're like, what the fuck is up with your pads? Because like we're looking at him like, dude, are your pants too big? Or what's going on? Like, his hip pad is near his thigh. His thigh pads are at his knee. His tailbone's at his hip. His other knee is like behind his knee. And my dad's like, dude, you got your pants on backwards? He goes, no. He goes, did you put them in the slots? He goes, no, I thought you just put the pads in between the pants and your legs and they stay there.
Just loosely.
My dad's like, son, go home. They were like, dude, you gotta, like, I mean, if people don't know, you have football pants, there are places to put your pads.
Yeah.
That's why they're always in place. But this guy genuinely thought, like, oh, I'm just going to slide them in. There are some people who are tight enough football pants, you probably could get away with that.
Yeah.
But
now the pants now just have them in there.
Yeah.
So you don't have to slide them anything. That's all you wash them.
Yeah. You either get the pants or you just get the girdle and you get whatever nylon pants they give you.
Yeah. My school was known for chess. They're nationally ranked in chess. And then they're no longer nationally ranked in chess because the chess coach got arrested for touching little boys. And
does that surprise you at all?
No, absolutely not. In the police report, you can look at this all online. It says,
King to child 4.
It says, when the police knocked on his door to ask him, talk to him, he goes, sir, do you know why we're here? And verbatim, he goes, is it because I've been having sex with goats for 40 years? Imagine just thinking like, oh, the police are here because I've been having sex with goats.
And it's not the reason they're
that was
there.
Not the reason. And then in the article, they keep going about the goats, and they're like, that's why his wife left him in 1985, which is just rough. But also, is it the same goat? Do you think he has multiple goats? Like, is he cheating on other goats?
He said goats. If he said, is it because I've been having sex with a goat for the last 15 years or whatever, how long you said, that would be more concerning. If it's one specific goat that this man's like, you're the one, baby, that'd be more concerning than I was like, nah, I just fuck goats.
I'm going to find you a picture of him.
While you do that, I'm going to pee.
He's going to not surprise you of what you think he looks like. While Michael's away, Selena Gomez, if you're listening right now, please reach out to us. Come on the podcast. We're all Team Selena here. Fuck Hailey Bieber, we're not a fan. Selena, I know you're going through tough times. You got lupus. But it could be loop us. We're in this together. We're here for you. So please reach out. FatChance.com maybe. FatChance on Instagram maybe. FatChance podcast. I don't really know. I don't know exactly the handle, but please reach out to us, Selena. We need you. We need you so bad. I was talking to Selena Gomez directly into the camera, so we're good.
I'm back.
so she can come on the podcast.
All right. Do you have the picture? You said I'm not
you know
gonna
how
be
like
surprised?
you have like people that kind of look like what they date.
Yep, that's it. That's a goat fucker right there. That is. Send me that picture because I'm gonna try and find a way to edit that onto the.
Oh, this is an even better one. I think this is when he got picked up. He had a mustache when he got picked up.
Those are two drastically different pictures. That's like.
Yeah.
That looks like Hulk Hogan's dad versus I definitely fuck goats. Wow, it's like he just switched hair.
I know. So jail probably does that to you, But yeah, it's wild. He kept stats for our football games, all our football games. It's weird. It's a weird time. I've had multiple.
It's crazy.
I had multiple teachers get arrested.
Really?
Yes, our band teacher got arrested. Our science teacher got arrested while I was in school for something he did at another school for trying to touch girls. Yeah, it was wild. We don't do background checks in Marion High School, apparently.
No, you don't. I think there were like rumors. One of our volleyball coaches used to make the girls sign their name in the air with their ass. So he no longer coaches there.
How would that be? How is that attractive?
I think he made it sound like it was a drill. Like, gotta stay low. So, like, write your name in the air with your ass. I think he just wanted to see 12 high school. It's disgusting. 12 high school, just like up and down. I'm like.
Also, why their name? They're already gonna get low.
Yeah.
What's the point of just making a D?
Why don't you just give me like a really fast heartbeat?
yeah. It's gonna be the same
just
thing.
Fucking twerk. Yeah, that's messed up. Okay, do you want to continue on there, or do you want to do an activity right now?
Let's do that activity.
Okay. Would you believe me if I told you this apartment had a window ham?
What's a window ham?
A window ham.
Like a ham and a window?
Like a ham and a window. It used to be there. We moved it, but we have a window ham, and I'd like you to cut a piece of ham and have it today. Are you genuinely
Yes,
concerned?
let's do it.
Okay.
I'm genuinely concerned, but I'm also like confused on what a window ham is.
Here's your knife.
Oh my god. Good thing you got the small one. Oh my god. What is this FDA approved? What is this?
Okay. So this is a full leg of Spanish ham.
Oh my god.
Over Christmas, my mom bought this, and hold on, I'll show you how to cut it. But I had my little incident on Christmas, where I almost died.
Yeah.
The appendix. And so we were going to do a fun charcuterie board for Christmas. She was going to make me cut this. So this is, I believe, I could be wrong, like prosciutto. So you're supposed to cut this nice and thin.
Yeah.
On top, so you're going to cut it from the top. Right now, there are 2 layers of fat. I'll take them so your hands don't get gross.
Oh,
that help preserve it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like bacon. Okay. Yeah.
And they said how to store is just cover it in a towel and the fat in a cool area. So we put it by the window, and so we now have a window ham.
But not they were like in a fridge? They weren't like in a fridge?
No, so these are cured. So this is from Costco, and it was just in a plastic thing. It's been sitting in a closet for a while, and now you're going to cut a slice of...
We're going to cut a piece.
So you want it to be like paper thin. Paper. Ooh. I promise you it's safe to eat.
His roommate just said he had explosive diarrhea from it.
You want it to be paper
But I
thin.
also saw a couple bush lights in there, so we don't really know if it was just from the ham.
But yeah, like if you ever go to the store and you get like you want to make a nice charcuterie board and you have like the things of prosciutto.
I want you to just bring this. Don't bring anything else. Just it's already on the board.
Yeah.
Just bring this.
So that's what we did. Is my girlfriend was here, and we just are like, we'll do a charcuterie board with me, her, and then my roommate and his girlfriend.
With just a ham sitting in the corner?
Well, I think this is how every charcuterie board should be. Is don't put any meat on it. You just get a leg of Spanish ham. You might be one of the best like cutters I've seen for this. It's great. That was a nice smooth
I was
cut.
emo in high school. I'm a real good cutter.
But so we just had like a normal board of like cheese, crackers, nuts, or whatever, and then an activity. Because if you do a charcuterie board, like I think the fun part everyone likes is it looks nice.
Yeah, everyone's fun part of the charcuterie board is making it yourself.
And like, and taking your picture, and then after that, it's like, oh, now we got to eat this. It's like I don't really care about these salted Mediterranean pistachios. All right, give it a bite.
All right, we have a bunch of pieces here. So if you like a piece, by all means.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Window ham.
Window.
It was good at ASMR.
It's not bad. Do you think it'd be worse?
Yeah, I thought it would be.
It's got like a funk to it, but you like it enough. You're nibbling on it.
Yeah, get another piece in there. Want another piece?
Sure, I'll have another piece.
All right.
I'm going to do this every episode now until this ham's fucking gone, which is going to take forever.
Yeah, how long does this ham last for?
I don't know. All right, you talk. I'll put this away.
I don't know if any of this is FDA approved, but
It's definitely not kosher.
I don't know what kosher is. Do you know what kosher is?
No pork products, I believe.
Oh, well. I don't think anyone knows what kosher means. I thought it has to be blessed by a rabbi.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did you expect me to pull out a window ham today?
Scale of 1 to 11. Like, I knew that there was going to be something shady going on in these apartments.
Also, when I said window ham, did you think that was one word at first? Like, what the hell is a window ham?
I'd honestly never seen that before. Also, that it was on, like, its special board. Like,
Yeah, it came with it.
I assume so, because that seemed like it was just made for that one ham.
I go all out with food stuff. Like, I love cooking and all that.
So
So
wait.
much that my girlfriend was like, you bought this board for it, too?
Yeah, what were you supposed to do with that before this?
So it was
For
supposed
Christmas, we were supposed to eat that entire thing?
Well, no. My mom's like me. She's like, this will be fun, but didn't realize, like, this is so much meat. So she's like, oh, you'll just take it home afterwards. Because I'll do stuff like this with it. I'm going to bring it out every podcast, and we're going to have ham until someone gets sick. But it was, I think if you get like a legitimate, like super nice one of those, that's several $100s right there. Costco has those every Christmas or Thanksgiving, and they're like $80. And so
Wow.
when you buy the slices of prosciutto at the store,
Yeah.
they're all like $8, and you get like 4. That was like what you
Yeah,
just cut
that's what
right
we just
there.
cut.
That's still like several $100s worth of meat.
Damn. That's good.
Yeah.
What else do you bring on a charcuterie board?
I don't even remember what we put on there. The only thing I was focused on was just giant ham.
Because it took you 4 hours to make 7 pieces.
Oh, yeah. And because it needs to be paper thin. Because if we had cuts where we're all like, we just got chunks of it. I'm like, this is chewy and it shouldn't be.
Do you fry it up?
No.
Okay.
It was just, it's cured, so you can cook it like cured salmon. You put like lox on for
That's
a
the
bagel.
fanciest shit I've ever heard.
It
in my
is,
entire
yeah.
life. Yeah, so I grew up on a dairy farm way up north. We don't do any of this. Our charcuterie board would be probably cottage cheese, cheese curds, and then venison. That's what it
Yeah.
would be. Like, there's nothing.
That sounds like a perfect, I like cottage cheese, but I wouldn't put it on a board. But cheese curds and venison, I love venison.
Yeah. And then,
I-
like, Ritz crackers.
I take a good venison steak over like a normal steak almost every time.
Yeah. Have you had your girlfriend on the podcast?
Twice, yeah.
Oh, how do you like that?
It's interesting. She's hesitant to come on each time. I've made her come on both times. So I'm like, I need someone for the week. First time was good. Second time, she was definitely more comfortable, and she's like, "Can we at least have questions to answer this time?" I'm like, "Sure, if you want to find them." So
I would just grill her about dating you. You know?
I'll let you two do a podcast.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But she basically just grilled me with questions. So it was around Christmas time, and I love Christmas. As you can see, Santa Claus is still up right now. That's top 5 favorite movies of all time. But she just grilled me with questions and watched me get irrationally angry at how annoyed I get with people the whole episode. So it's been fun. She's been a trooper. And
my 69th episode for my podcast, I'm going to have a bunch of like old guests just interview me, like ask me questions and like what I think. Because I have a bunch of questions for you that I have, basically the rapid fire ones.
Oh, yeah.
Ninjas or pirates?
Ninjas.
TVs or movies?
Movies.
Boobs or butt?
Butt.
Mom or dad?
Mom. She watches this.
You had to pick this one. Does your parents watch this?
Occasionally, yeah. I don't know if my dad knows how to.
That's fair.
I taught my dad how to use Bluetooth 2 years ago.
Wow, that's really... Your dad has Instagram and knows all Bluetooth?
It was crazy that I taught him. I'm like, Dad. He's like, what do you mean? This is new. I'm like, Dad, Bluetooth came out before I could like talk.
What does he listen to?
What do you mean? What is he?
With his Bluetooth?
Well, we finally got him hooked on Spotify.
Okay,
I have like a
good.
giant country music playlist. It's like 75 hours long. I'm like, just listen to this. It's like all your music you like. But for a while, he would just pick songs on YouTube. And so, but he was the kind of guy that would, when I was teaching him how to use YouTube, or not YouTube, Bluetooth, I'm like, all right, it's connected. And he goes, okay, so like I just play this and it plays through here. I go, where the fuck have you been the last 20 years? He goes, dude, I don't know. Well, how should I know this? I'm like, how should you not know this? And then I looked at his phone, and it's not even the YouTube app. It's Safari, YouTube.com. I'm like, all right, we're getting you the app, too. He goes, what is that? I'm like, holy shit.
It's like explaining technology to your parents is like talking technology to Amish people, or electricity to Amish people. It's like rough.
My mom's pretty good at it. My dad is horrendous. I mean, and he's getting better. He's learning. But I'm like, dude, you are so behind the ball.
My dad just found out about emojis. Just found out.
I think my dad sent me a few emojis, but I think my dad sent me emojis because they're the reply buttons for like Instagram DMs now, where like you hold it down and you accidentally hit one.
I love your dad's in the DMs. Your dad's just doing stuff in the DMs.
He'll go through phases where I get like 6 a day, and then I'll get like 1 a week or something like that. But it's always like, because I like to cook. He's like, all right, you should make this next time we're all together, or lacrosse videos, or hunting, or
get back
or
onto
like,
it. Get the sticks back out.
Or weirdly, like he'll send me like motivational stuff. I'm like, let's not do that one. But yeah, I mean,
my dad's always on Facebook, and he thinks the people you should know are friend requests, so he just accepts them all.
He's got like 1 million friends on Facebook.
Yeah, he thinks everyone wants to be his friend, but he gets like scammed for like the videos that are obviously fake, and it's like, this is the truth that Facebook is trying to hide, and then he sends it to me through Facebook Messenger. Like, he's like, this video has been banned in all social medias. I was like, Dad, how did you get it?
Exactly.
Like, you're a 73-year-old farmer.
They're also the kind of people that when you see them in person, like, you shouldn't believe everything you hear on the internet. And then you get a DM from them, and it's just like a random person on TikTok being like, here are the secrets to this, this, and this, and the government's hiding this. I'm like, this is Karen in her basement. And you're like, you should listen to this. I'm like, should I?
I did have a news article that was very funny. I saw today that someone in Arizona stole the giant spoon outside of Dairy Queen. Do you know like the Dairy Queens that have like the giant spoon?
I think so.
Going into the blizzard.
Either way, they stole a giant spoon.
The red spoon, like it's a red Dairy Queen spoon. that they stole from. Like, it's massive. They stole from that. So there has to be.
Can't be hard to find.
Well, there has to be some aunt that has it in their kitchen now with another giant fork.
It says live, laugh, love.
Yeah. It says eat for some weird reason. Like, what else would you do?
Live, laugh, ice cream cake is what it says.
It's so funny.
You gotta find a giant fork to match it.
Yeah, a red one. I love the decor that people have in their houses. It's always the same.
It says a lot. It says you can tell the age too.
Yes.
And I mean, obviously interest, but just age enough. Like you walk in here, there's a Santa Claus poster and a beer poster on the wall. You're like, these kids are in their 20s and they're dudes.
My mom, if you're watching this, I love you to death. But she has a lot of like things that say home, and then also pictures of Jesus.
Like in case she forgets, it's her house.
Yeah, and also pictures of Jesus. And my older brother, who lives in California, he looks like if Jesus was in a punk band. So it just looks like she has multiple pictures of my brother up. And then we're like in the corner, and that's it.
Like, oh, you have a favorite child, don't you?
Yeah. Apparently, you know.
Yeah, I think my least favorite thing people have as decorations, it might be going on style, is the people who had like writing on their walls. Like actually like like painted it on. Like the live, laugh, love, family, home,
I love
family,
that.
friends, and feasting, whatever it was.
Yeah, because that had to be a fad at some point at like Bath and Body or something like
we'll
Bed Bath and
paint
Beyond.
some inspirational stuff on your walls. It's not a permanent decision, but that's a pretty
So
bold
who got
decision.
yours? Who got the Santa Claus? That was you?
Me. That's me, yeah.
So who got the old style?
Him. So his last name is Heilman.
Oh.
No relation. He is 2 N's, but it's kind of cool. I like it.
Just take off the N. The S.
Just put another one. Yeah. So we have his mom found that, I believe, at like an old rummage sale.
That's a huge find.
Huge.
That's
yeah.
Unreal.
I love it. See that rip all the way on the left?
Yeah.
Does it look like a hand going like this to you?
Oh yeah. Okay, I can see it.
Like a witch just going, "Come here, my precious."
Old style. Ever have it?
Once or twice. I couldn't tell you what it tastes like.
What's your go-to beer when you go out?
Coors Light probably.
Coors Light.
Yeah.
Did that start in college? Or was it a Milwaukee thing?
I don't know. I think PBR tastes like the can it comes in to me. Miller Lite, my 19th birthday, we got so drunk that it just kind of always has a weird taste to me. I can still drink Miller Lite, but that's like a summer beer, like a summer light beer for me.
Okay.
It sounds weird, but I'm like, you know what? It's got to be like, it's a Summerfest beer for me.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
It's a Summerfest beer for me. Like, honestly, I need that and a cigarette in my hand, and it pairs perfectly. And I don't even smoke.
Yeah. You're just holding it.
Coors Light just seems, it's beery enough, but it's light enough as well. Like, Miller Lite is with a cigarette. Bud Light tastes like water. Coors is kind of right in between.
You were lucky enough. I was in the, like when I was 18, 19, and like 20, so I was a little bit underage, but I still wanted to get into the bars.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go through the bouncers. It was just so happened that they stopped letting you smoke inside.
Yeah.
And they would have a designated smoking area. And these places didn't have that ready. So they would just rope off a spot for it.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would take a pack of cigarettes. I don't smoke. Never have, never will. I would take a pack of smokes and I would just light one up and I would duck and go in the cigarette area.
And then just
act
go
like I was
in.
smoking, and then I'd dust it out and I'd go right in.
That's so smart.
Yeah. Got in every time.
That is so smart.
Yeah.
I love that. I love like creative ways to get to the bar.
And there's so many ways you can get in. There's like have someone come out and give you a drink, like a glass.
Yeah.
That you already have.
It depends on the kind of bar. Like, and
True.
if there's an indoor-outdoor section, stuff like that. Like, obviously there's an outdoor section, so they're not always monitoring that. Like, oh, they're already in. We don't need to watch it. So if you quickly get on that fence, you're good to go.
Did you have a fake?
I did, yeah. I had Kentucky, and then I had Minnesota.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Kentucky and Minnesota. Yeah.
They worked. I liked them. I didn't get denied much. I got a drinking ticket once because of it, but I got a drinking ticket and I gave the cop my fake ID.
Wait, you got a drinking ticket? Wow. A ticket
Underage.
for you're so good at drinking, and
Yeah.
you're like, here's a fucking go ticket. you are
You
damn
win,
good.
Michael. No, it was we did Country USA, and
Oh yeah, with drinking tickets are
just flowing.
they just give you at the door. They're just like, here you
And
go.
so we're all like, just it was the most casual thing. We're sitting around a grill, like making hot dogs, listening to music, drinking, making no noise. And these cops roll up and they're like, "Can we see your IDs?" We're like, "Did we
Yeah.
do anything?" Because I ended up asking them later. I'm like, "What did we do?" Like, one of you looked young. And I was like, "Can I ask which one?" And like, we make fun of them all the time for it now. And we're like, "Fuck you, Jake."
Just painted a mustache on
But
them
we
or something?
befriended the people in the campsite next to us, and they were underage as well. And when you buy fake IDs, you often get 2 of them.
Mhm.
And so I gave one to the other guy. I was like, "So you can buy beer in there." It had a crease in it, so clearly it was fake. And I gave it to the other guy. And I was like, "Use it, see if you can get beer with it. If you lose it, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm going to have the good one." And so they come up and they ask for IDs, and I give them our ID. And everyone has a different ID in our group. Not one of us is of age. And we're
Or
like,
from Wisconsin.
or from Wisconsin. We're all like, "Yeah, we met in college." And we're like, "We're here visiting. We stayed this summer," kind of thing. Which is a fair excuse. Of all the excuses you could give, not bad.
Yeah.
And they're like, I get the one cop. Obviously, she could have been lying. She goes, "I'm actually from Kentucky." I was like, "Cool. Do I go with you now?" And I'm sitting on the back of a car with all our beer in it. And she goes, "I need you to dump your drink out." They were cool enough because I just closed the door with the rest of our booze in it because it's day 2 of 5. And I closed it. I was like, "Yeah, we'll dump this one out." We got put into a holding cell. And I was like, "This fucking sucks." And we end up coming out, and I smile in my mugshot. I can't find it to this day.
Oh,
I really want to find
you
it.
can-
They gave me a whiteboard and wrote a bunch of stuff
Oh,
on it. And they're
that's
like, "Can you hold this?" I go, "What is this for?" And I look up, and they have one of these cameras pointed at me like we do now. And I go, "Is this my mugshot?" And they're like, "Yeah." "Why are you pumped about it?" And I go, "Like this."
I should have done more research. All right, I'm gonna write this down.
And
Find
so,
mugshot.
we get back to the campsite. 2 of us are like, "Fuck it, we'll just drink in the tents." And then a few of them are like, "We can never drink again." We're like, "Okay, whatever." So we're just drinking in the tents, and we meet the other 2 guys that are the other campsite. We're like, "Did you guys get in trouble too?" They're like, "No, our fake IDs work." I go, "The one with the fucking crease in it worked."
Should have kept that one.
I should have kept that one. Yeah.
I never got a drinking ticket.
I saved mine. I have my.
I never got a drinking ticket. I've crawled through fields. I've done all that stuff. But my favorite time was in college. We were underage, and we got back from the bars from drinking, and the security cart was out there. They were in a golf cart, and we're walking back to our apartment, and on the seat in front of the golf cart was the ticket book, just sitting there. So we stole it.
Really?
And we ticketed all the cars in the parking lot. We probably ticketed 60 to 80 cars. And they were like, we ticketed them like from $20 to $40. That, like, it was just for the dumbest stuff. Like, you can't have racing stripes here, $40. We ticketed the school van. It was like, you get this piece of shit out of here before we tow it. The big trucks are like, who you compensating for? $60, and put it on their windshield. And we had a great time. We didn't ticket any of our cars. And we were like, oh, crap, they're going to know that it was us. So my roommate was gone on a soccer trip because he played soccer. And so I was like, oh, we'll just give him a ticket. And we put being a field fairy, $40 on his ticket. And I remember going to bed, passed out, waking up to my roommate coming home from a soccer trip, just on his phone with his mom, be like, I got a parking ticket last night. Can you believe that they're making fun of me for playing soccer? This and that. And he was so wild. And he wakes me up. He goes, Judd, did you get a parking ticket last night? And I was like, I hope not. And he goes, well, I'm going to security to fight this. And I'm like, I'll come with. So I'm like a sheep's and wolf clothing right now. I'm just walking in. And I get there, and there's so many people with tickets in their hands just waiting for security. And they're like yelling at them. They're like, since when can I have racing stripes here? It was just insane. And I remember security, like one of the security officers just loudly shouts, just put the tickets on the table. None of you will pay it. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. So about a week passes and we kind of like just forget about it. And we're just like, oh, that was funny. And the newspaper comes, not like our college newspaper, like the city's newspaper comes out. On like page 3, they're like school vandalism, and just had a picture of all those like of the table of like the ones they had, and it said, please, if you have any information about this, there was ticket on cars. If you have any information, let us know, because the vandals have to pay the fines for all the tickets that they wrote. And we wrote so many tickets. To this day, we've never been caught.
Until now.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's been too many years. I don't think they can catch us now. But yeah, we've never been caught. It was amazing.
I can confidently say that is top 3 best stories I've ever heard doing this. That is phenomenal.
Yeah. I have some good stories from college. I'll have to tell those off the podcast because those could incriminate me. But
oh, yeah. There's definitely something like, all right, shut the fuck up. Shut up. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it was great.
That is it. That's one of those memories you have where you will tell that to your son or daughter one day, and they'll be like, "Dad's fucking cool."
We had. I mean, I played college baseball, and our apartment building was so close to the field that you could see the field from our balcony.
Yeah.
So we would have double headers, and normally double headers, you just sit in the dugout and eat your sandwich and drink your Gatorade and kind of go for the rest. We would go back to our apartment. And we're like, well, that game sucked, or like that game was. Either way, we're having beers. you know, like our game 2 is going to be way more loose than game 1.
That was the moment. So I didn't drink in high school. I don't know if we covered this one on yours. Did we cover my Mardi Gras trip for lacrosse?
No.
So my freshman year, they're like, we're going to Mardi Gras. We're not going to Mardi Gras. We're going to New Orleans for a tournament. And it was a club team, so like you got to pay to go. And I was like, I'm not gonna go. I can't afford it. And the coach was like, you can pay like half. I want you to go. And this is before him and I hated each other. But I'm like, this is the first time I realized like, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want now in college. So I'm a freshman, barely drank before. I get on this bus. I have beer. Not a lot, but I'm like, oh, I have a few drinks. It's a Wednesday night. I'm just deciding not to go to class. No, I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm like, I'm just not going to class. All the upperclassmen just load the bus up with booze.
Yeah.
At like 7 o'clock at night. And we just get pissed drunk before we're even out of Wisconsin. And we fall asleep. We get drunk again. We get down to Louisiana and we stop, get food, start drinking again. I'm like, holy shit, this is unbelievable. We get to the field. We stay at this hotel basically around the corner from, I think it's Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, you guys, you'll have time to go do your thing here. And we realize at that point, like, oh, it's Mardi Gras. So I'm like, holy shit. And so we go to the field. I'm like, I want these games over with. We got 4 games. We get to the field, and there's this beer bus. And you go buy a cup for $20, and it's all you can drink beer the entire tournament. So naturally, every single one of us just go get a cup for $20 and start drinking before we even played a game.
You're just the most dehydrated team.
We were there for 4 days. We played 3 of them the first day. We were icing the other team's goalies with you can get 22-ounce ice Smirnoff ices.
Oh, that's funny.
At halftime. We're putting them there.
So funny.
Our coach is yelling at us like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, we're all hammered, hungover, or both."
That is so.
And so we're just shit drunk. And then the first night we're 3 games done. I'm like, I'm not gonna play. I got leveled by a professional lacrosse player. I'm like, I will talk to the defense. I'm like, hey, what do you do? He goes, oh, I play in the MLL. I go, the major lacrosse? He goes, yeah. He goes, what do you? I'm like, I play club. That's it. He goes, do you want to agree? You don't try and score on me. I don't kill you. I go, that's a good deal. But we go out and unbelievable. I'm like 18 and I don't have an ID. Out of a movie, there's a line of us. It's the guys and girls team. And one guy's gets in and then just does a hand back all the way to me. They're like, we like you. We'll give you your IDs. Hand back, get in, same ID, like 20 guys later.
Yeah.
They had groups where like, all right, we'll distract these 2 bouncers because there's 2 doors. You go into the other one. I just walked into a bar. The only thing I didn't get into that weekend was a strip club because they like have to be strict about it.
Yeah.
I went to Tulane frat party.
Okay.
Because I knew one of the guys from high school who was there.
Anthony Jeselnik went to Tulane, was in a frat.
Went there, I was like, and I was against frats my freshman year. I was like, I don't want to pay for my friends. But we went there because it was like rush season. So it was like anyone can get in. And there were moms behind the counter with like buckets. And they're like, do you want some? I was like, what is it? Like, it's called diesel. I was like, what the fuck is this? And it tasted like lighter fluid and like Kool-Aid. And they just put one in there like, how is it? I'm like, I'm going to die. I fucking loved college. Like,
yeah. Also, I've never been to New Orleans, but it seems
there are so many places I want to go with like just a group of guys and just have fun. Like you could have so much fun in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. I would 100% go back there if I could.
There's also great ways of like in college, you get so smart of sneaking alcohol.
Oh yeah, you get so good at it.
So what I used to do is I used to have a backpack that was lined with Pringle cans. And you can fit 2 to 3 beer cans in a Pringle can. Interesting. So you could fit a full like 24 pack into like, You
ate a lot of Pringles for this.
Basically, you just dump them out. I mean, like, but it's like, so you have your backpack full of Pringles and it doesn't shake like a beer would.
Yeah.
So it sounds perfect. And then if your backpack gets confiscated, it's just a bunch of Pringles. They're not going to look in.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah. So that's what we used to do.
Where'd you go to college again?
Lakeland University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say it was one of my like favorite realizations in life is a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I could go do something different in college or high school. I remember sitting at a George Webb's with my roommate and my other buddy, Jake Kane, and being like, dude, we did it right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have, like, there are minor things like, oh, this would have been cool, stuff like that. But, like, dude, we did it fucking right. Like, when you think of college and you go into it, like, I want this to be a movie. I want it to be a party. I want to have fun. And then getting out of me, like, oh, we actually did that. That's such a good feeling.
Did the dumbest stuff. My.
Do you want another one?
Yeah, that'd be great.
What do you want?
That one. Yep, that one right to your right. Yep, perfect.
Summer?
Yep. My it was my senior year, and the softball team is running a fundraiser, and their fundraiser is a home run derby for any of the college kids to get into. Teams of 4. A home run derby, which is fun. It was just pitchers. They had like a pitching machine, and you're in a softball field, and you hit home runs. And then they're out there fielding balls and throwing it in. It was a home run derby. But it's like $200 per team to enter, so it's like $50 a person. And we pre-gamed it. We tailgated it. Like, just...
In college, you pregame things that you definitely don't need to pregame.
We're part of the team.
Pregame, like, let's just get drunk.
It is, and it's homecoming weekend too. So that's why there was like families there. And we are just in the parking lot doing beer bongs, just getting ready for it. And we're baseball players, so we're gonna win this thing. We already knew that.
Yeah.
And there was a team of football players that had one dude who could just rake.
Yeah.
And they are up by 3 home runs going into the last round, and I'm the last one, and I'm the last team, and I hit 4 home runs in a row right away. 4 done, and after I hit the 4th one, we walk it off in a home run derby. We run the bases, and someone throws me a beer from home plate on a second base, and I chug it, and then I just keep going. And the softball players are like, "What is he doing? Why is he running the bases in a home run derby?" And we get to like the home plate, and everyone just showering beers at us.
It's your event. They don't know about it.
No, they do not know about it. And then we look over, and it's just a sea of. They brought in like after that they had like. A little girls camp. Jesus. So they just saw us randomly chug beers and hit a home run, and it was just amazing. It was a blast.
What is this?
Yeah, why are these guys doing this?
Dude, college is so fun. I couldn't do it like if you're like, could you redo it right now? No.
I don't think my body could handle it.
I wouldn't
I'm
want
32.
to. Like, would you do it again? I think that's the beauty of it, is like I did it once.
Yeah.
It's I have so many stories. I could talk college stories for probably 5 hours easily.
Do you have any of your college friends on here?
Yeah, I've had plenty. My roommate is a college friend. We're in the same fraternity.
Okay.
My buddy Connor on. Who else? Ringelberg. A few of them, yeah. I would like more of them. A lot of the people I've had on here are now comedians and people who have lived in Wisconsin. I would like more people from college to have on, just because I know the stories are going to be great. And I'm comfortable with them. You can tell when I have people on that I'm not comfortable with talking to. So, like, my girl was telling me this, like, you can tell. She's like, you were comfortable on she listened to ours on yours, and she's like, you were comfortable. I was like, yeah, I like him. And she's like, I listened to some other ones, and you're like, you can tell you don't know where you can talk or what you can share
and you
about.
have you're like, oh, I need to do all the work for the sentence. You have to make the conversation flow this way or flow that way, and it's pulling teeth basically is what you're doing. And then when you're with your friends, it's like, oh, we're back.
We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
It's just a microphone in front of us. Yeah, it's nice doing it with someone who also does the podcasting stuff, because neither one of us want dead space. We know it's not the end of the world, but there's often times when people come on and are like, oh, I'm the guest. This is all about me. But they don't understand, like, oh, this one is just like, I just want to talk to you. Yeah. This should be like a give and take. Yeah. And so when they're like, oh, you're not going to keep talking. Okay, so I got to think of something else right now.
I got a few buddies on mine that I get to just relive stories on, and I hear stories that I've never heard before.
Yeah.
There's plenty of times where, like, I would pass out early or, like, be at a different party, and they're like, oh, yeah, remember that time? I was like, no, I don't.
Not at all.
When was that?
See, I've never been the guy that's, like, passed out early. I'm usually the one telling them, dude, do you know what you did last night? When it's like, Kusky, do you know what you did last night? That means it was a bad, like, because I'm very bad, not very bad. Like, I'm good at not losing control completely. Yeah. When I do, not good.
See, we would have people that could, it was just like a real hangover story where people could piece different parts together.
Yes.
There was one time I woke up and my stomach hurt so bad. Not like inside, the outside.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did my stomach hurt? And then my other buddies, his fist hurt. And then our buddy Big Red was like, yeah, Charlie, you punched Judd in the stomach a bunch of times because he said, that's how Houdini dies, but I can take it. And I was like, why would I say that?
Yeah, I love those. I love when you can piece together a night and no one said anything too bad. The worst sentence you can hear when you wake up is, you know what you did last night? It's the worst sentence you can hear. You're like, fuck, I'm going back to bed.
We would always have like worse. Like my buddy one time, he was in Chicago and then came back. He was like, guess what I did last night? And I was like, I'm not going to guess. Just tell me. He stole a sign from a church that said, it was a Spanish church. It said worship and iglesias, which means church. And then it had 2 times. It had Wednesday at 6 and Saturday at 11. So at Wednesdays at 6 and Saturdays at 11, we just took a Sharpie marker and put an S on that Iglesia, and we would just play Enrique Iglesias Power Hour and on Wednesdays at 6 and Saturdays at 11, and we just blast it through our apartment complex.
Were you Power Hour people?
Yeah, we would made a playlist.
It's how I met one of my best friends is Power Hours. We've made one kinda, but I remember living in this fraternity house, and I just screamed, "Who wants a Power Hour?" And this kid popped up and he goes, "It's my favorite way to drink."
we had it on an iPod, like an original iPod.
So
on an iHome, we'd plug it in and just go straight.
We had 2 specific ones we found on YouTube, and our favorite one is our routine. I've said so many times on here. Our routine was him and I had the same accounting class and ended at 3:45. We'd run from accounting to this place called Tags in Madison.
Yep.
Which basically, have you been there?
Yep.
Yeah. You give them an ID with a kangaroo on it that says "I hate Asians," and they'd still give you beer. And they like the amount of times they're like they touch it, like, yeah, you're good. And they had Cool Light in cardboard pallets.
I don't know what Cool Light is.
You don't want to, but I'm pretty sure they stole it off a truck because it was dirt cheap. You bought a 24-pack, they gave you a free 4-pack. So we each get one of those. We were walking out with again, 28, 56 beers. And we go into my room. It's on the corner that faces Langdon Street, which is basically frat row. People are walking up and down the whole time. Power hour and a half, depending on if we want to go longer. And we just gradually, it started with just us two, and we gradually let more and more people would join. And halfway through is the Friends theme song. And when it gets to the point where they clap, we have like 10 people in my room. We're all out the window. It's on volume 100, and we clap, and we get people to like start cheering. In our creative playlist, we have it in there. It's all country music and then that.
That is so funny.
And then I would go to work.
You'd go to work after that?
I worked at a bar.
Oh, then
And then I would literally just go bar back, and when he started working there, or Jake, my roommate, we'd all go to work after that.
My buddy was the DJ at one of the places. He was just a DJ. And he would make playlists beforehand and then get super drunk. Mm-hmm. And his thing was he would always, when he gets drunk, would try to get on the mic and try to be like, hey, if you give me a boo, I say, yeah, boo. And it was just like, to the point where he would drunkenly embarrass himself where he's like, Judd, you have to hide the mic from me tonight. You got to hide it in some place. So then I would have the mic, and I would like try to walk around so he wouldn't find it. And then sure enough, he'd find another mic, plug it in, and he would just try to be like, and it was just the best. We would get in there and just play the worst songs, like just Outcast, and like everyone's like, play something that we know, and we're like, no, these are all deep cuts.
I hate being on aux. I hate it. It's so much pressure. Like if someone's like, Michael, play music. It is a staple of mine. No matter what. Someone tells me, Michael, play music for the party. I will put on Fruit Salad by the Wiggles. Every time. So much that at one point Spotify goes, hey, you like this? You might like other songs by the Wiggles.
Yeah.
That I put it on. They're like, never mind. You're not doing music. I'm like, that's all I wanted. It's like doing a chore so bad. Your parents are like, all right, you're never doing this again.
I'm good at it. I think I'm a good DJ. I try to play a variety. I usually start with Rock and Roll by the Glitter something, and it's, hey, oh, that's a good song to get it started. And then you got to play some like 2000s jam, like Back That Ass Up or something like that, and then slow it down with some country and then bring it back up. It's just about
a nice little roller coaster. It's all going to be stuff that majority of the people know the words to.
Yeah.
Or at least are like, I know the chorus.
Yeah, you got to stick with all classics, no deep cuts, and who gives a shit about what you like?
Exactly.
It's all about what the people like.
You can throw one in that you like.
If you're throwing in some Blink-182, I Miss You, everyone's going to know that song. You play the Yin Yang Twins, they're going to know the song. I mean,
you get like one that you're like, oh, I like the song, that's for you, but I guarantee you it comes on, you don't even know what's playing.
Same with karaoke. Don't play anything that I don't know. Play the classics. I don't care if it's Creed.
If it's a crowded bar, play what other people like because it's going to drown your shitty voice out.
Yeah, like High Note tonight.
But if it's also just, are you going to it tonight?
No.
But if it's just you and your friends there, play something you like. I get it. But if it's a crowded bar, don't ruin the whole atmosphere because you're
Unless you're the best singer in the world and you're going to kill this. No.
Even if you're the best singer in the world, I guarantee you that bar you're at doesn't have the best sound system. So Adele even sounds like fucking crackly voice.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like karaoke. Don't do it. That's my PSA.
I'm going to ask you one final question just because I think we're over an hour.
Let's wrap this shit up.
This is going to be my last one for, I think, the rest of the episodes. I liked it with Ryan. You have 4 people, your Mount Rushmore, 4 people you send to meet the aliens. Who are they?
Send to meet the aliens?
Yep, like your ambassadors for our planet. Aliens come down, 4 people.
Number 1, Gary Busey. Just throw him out there. He's already an alien. Okay. He's messing with the aliens. They don't know what's happening. Number 2, probably Alex Jones. We're throwing Alex Jones. He already thinks there's aliens. So, it's validation for him.
You're sending a believer.
Oh, I'm sending the people that if they get killed, we're not going to miss them. We're going to be okay. I'm not sending anyone that I like.
But you also don't want them to be like, we hate these guys so much, they're going to kill us now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we have Gary Busey and Alex Jones.
The ShamWow guy, I think, he bit off a prostitute's tongue one time. That's true.
That's impressive.
You can look it up. He'd be a great one.
Do you think he said ShamWow afterwards?
Well, it cost him $19.95. The 4th one, to send, probably, Mel Gibson. I think Mel Gibson wasn't he do the Signs movie? Was that Joaquin Phoenix?
I don't know, but your Mount Rushmore, we're fucked.
Well, wait, are they supposed to like actually like help us?
However you want.
Oh, yeah. I sent 4 people.
Aliens are here. We don't know what they want. Who are you sending?
My favorite is those 4 people we send there and they come back and say there's aliens. We're still not going to believe them.
Yeah.
So they're already
we could see the ship and be like, really?
Who's you for?
I don't know yet. I got to think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really got to think about it. I don't want it to take another 30 minutes for me to think about it. To be honest, I want to put me in the 4 just because I'm so goddamn curious, but that's selfish as fuck.
True. All right. My last question for you is favorite comedian right now?
Tom Segura.
Tom Segura.
He always will be. Do you have more on there? We can do them real quick if you want.
No, I have favorite comedian and also favorite comedian in the scene. Who do you like? Who do you think in the Milwaukee scene that people should check out? We're not in it.
Yeah, I think who has, in my opinion, who's going to blow up the most in the near future, I think is David.
Yes.
David Lewis. That's my opinion. Eric Smith, hands down. And I don't know him. I think I've said 3 words to him, and it's, hey, sorry, I'm in your way. But he's great. I haven't seen Ton a lot. I'm curious to see what AJ's going to do. But I think right now, the person who has the most traction, in my opinion, is David Lewis.
Yeah, David Lewis is great.
I love his energy. It's a perfect mix of like high energy, hateful, curiosity, intelligence. He's just great.
He's taking swings out there. He's not afraid to do something crazy on stage, like stand on tables or get your attention that way.
No, I think he is one of the people that I will look at. I'm like, all right, I genuinely enjoy it, or will learn from him, and it's nice. But yeah, I think that's the one right now, mainly because I see he's getting a lot of traction. Yeah. But yeah, he's doing great. He's fun to watch.
Yeah. Go if you ever have a chance, go see David Lewis. Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for having me, man. Absolutely. I appreciate this. This was a blast.
This is fun. I think we're just over an hour, so it's perfect.
Perfect.
All right. We'll
cool.
do it again. Thank you.
Cheers.